So one thing that I think is useful, the point I was trying to make, is if you take a few of these and remove them from the room and then attach them to Darrenix, I think that helps, in my opinion, somewhat with the glitch that I have experienced on occasion of only Larix being selected when you hit select party. And apparently also, one thing that I am now seeing is because Myos is selected, you could technically go to and hit heal unit because you've selected a group of people and one of them has the ability to heal. So you could go and heal this guy, for example, by clicking heal unit and clicking on him. So I've healed this guy, now we're going to continue healing the minor wounds on the other soldiers. Should take a couple seconds. That'll do it. Okay, so we have to go to the outpost. That's the edge of the map. This brings up another very fascinating, this brings up another strange aspect of the game, which I think is a definite downside. See, most RTS games have a minimap, which is a small rectangular map, normally in the lower left-hand corner, where you can see where your troops are. And normally, if you have an objective, it will open up a part of the minimap where you can see the general direction of where your objective is, and you maybe can see the building where you need to go. And then what you do is you, instead of moving your cursor around the map to where you need to go, wherever that is, what you can do is right-click on the part of the minimap where the objective is, and your soldiers will immediately go there. This is just like an RTS standard mechanic. And I guess it's also important to talk about what the fog of war is if you haven't played any RTS games, and I'm doing this on the off chance that you guys who are watching maybe haven't. You can always see where your soldiers are in a general sense and the buildings around them, but you can't see most of the map in most war games, because they want there to be an element of mystery and difficulty in not knowing where the enemy base is and where the enemy soldiers are marching from. So the majority of the map will always start out as totally black. Some games it won't, you know, depending on the mission that you're playing, or depending on the game. Even maybe, I'm sure there are some RTS games that will leave it open for you to see everything. But even if they leave it so you can see like the general layout of the trees and the rivers and such, generally, even in that case, they'll sort of still have it very darkened and sort of distorted. I guess a good metaphor would to be grayed out. Like the landscape is grayed out, as it were, so that maybe you can see the natural features, but you can't see any enemy buildings or any places where enemies might be lurking. Now, you have to walk forwards, as I'm doing now, you know, into the fog of war to reveal the area. And then, what do you do if you go the other way? Well, you see that the fog of war is sort of retreating backwards. So now that I have walked up here, it has revealed natural areas that I previously was not aware of. So now, anywhere that you walk, you see the natural areas. But then, as soon as you walk farther away, you'll see the natural areas, but it'll keep everything sort of obscured so that you don't see the enemy soldiers. And this is basically standard in all RTS games. Basically, you won't have one where you can see all the enemy soldiers all the time wandering around. And the most that a game might do in terms of revealing something to you in an area that you do not control or have soldiers stationed in, the most a game might do is have like a small little dot where the objective is, so you can see somewhat of the soldiers, the enemy soldiers in the area. So what does this have to do with difficulties with this game that I see? Well, you'll notice there actually is no minimap. So what do? Well, first of all, you have to click on the ground, which already is annoying to have like an extra gesture to do. You see you've got help screen with some basic like tutorial information. Quick save, select party, which I've been talking about. Notes, which are your objectives. Main menu, chat, probably, which is where you would have cheat codes if you had any. And then, of course, minimap on the far right here. So, let's click on it. And keep in mind that we already had to click on the ground and then click on another thing in order to get it. So you can see, here's Mios' Druid Hut, here's the Stonehenge where we started the level. Here is one village, probably Cormaris, which is Lerica's village, and here's another small village where Darenix was fighting. And what's the problem here? Well, it would be useful if you could click and drag around all of your troops from this point and right-click on the objective, but you can't. You would either have to do select party and make sure that all of your soldiers are are attached to heroes, and you probably want to have as many heroes as are actual like warrior generals, so not druids or anything like that, but any of the other generals attached to some other number of troops themselves, even if it is just a couple, to make sure that they are selected when you hit select party, because you need to have everything selected. So you could go back here and hit select party, which is what I've decided is the best idea. I mean, in a situation where Miles doesn't like run off in the other direction. But let's just stop them here so I can illustrate this. But for all the time that I've been playing this game, that didn't really occur to me to go to the minimap, select party, and then walk towards the objective by right-clicking. What I thought I needed to do was to select everything then sort of go down and guess where the objective is, and thankfully it's close by enough so that my guesses tend to be correct. So I can definitely see how the whole process of going to the minimap, hitting select party, making sure all of your soldiers are in a group with a hero at their helm, and then right-clicking on the objective would be extremely, extremely counterintuitive to most RTS players, and especially to people like not used to playing RTS games. So that is a serious flaw I see with this game. Yeah, I'm gonna double check the resolution.
I know the time of my death.
Although if I restart the game for whatever reason and
Let me at them.
fuck, my soldiers are dying really fast. Especially the ones under Darnex. They are all dead except for that one archer.
I lead armies.
And the outpost was firing on me because it was controlled by Teutons. But yeah, as I was saying, if I restart the game and the opening, like, ads, like, credits are in good enough resolution, then I will have kept the good resolution, as I should have. We managed to free the villagers, yet I fear the Teutons might return at any moment. Our only hope is to go to Kabatha. The town is strong and will protect you from the Teutons. Everyone, follow me!
Learn the ways of life.
So we got some peasants. Peasants are useful in random map games for completing certain economical activities. We won't have to deal with building an economy for quite a while. Freedom at last! Thank you for saving us, warrior. It is by your actions and the will of the gods that we managed to survive this.
Follow my lead.
So now the peasants have joined Larex's party. Miles comes in very late.
Let me know.
Too late to heal anyone.
Serve the people.
Old fucking man. This is an outpost. There's lots of them. They all look the same. Actually, no, they don't. There are some other ones that look different. They're important in random map games. And also in the campaign. We'll get to that later.
Learn the ways.
Here's another screwy thing that I think is kind of cool and interesting, but only once you're used to it. If you're not used to it, it can really, like, mess with your head and make you incredibly confused. So most RTS games, you have a mission, you complete it, you go to the main menu and you select the next mission. In this game, it's technically one giant mission, because there's no intermediary main menu where you select different missions. Instead, you have this situation. We have to go to Kabatha, right? New village to protect these peasants from Teuton incursion. So where the hell is the new village? Is it over here? Is it in this giant unexplored area? Nope. There's a objective marker right here. what the hell are we expected to do?
need
Well,
more men. True leaders are rare.
watch this. Up. So what happened is it just generated a new map. Like instead of having separate missions on a main menu, it basically just creates new levels.